Different Strokes ran from 1978 to 1986 and still remains one of the most iconic American sitcoms of its time. It had a unique premise of showing a single man raising his biological daughter as well as his two adopted African-American children. It showed the importance of family and indeed had a lot of warmth and kindness, though, sadly, some of the main cast members have since passed away. Subscribe our channel to learn how each Different Strokes cast member died and about their fascinating yet troubled lives and careers. Conrad Bain as Philip Drummond. Conrad Bain portrayed Philip Drummond, the strict but fair, affluent and kind widower who adopted the Jackson boys after their mother, his housekeeper, passed away. Conrad Bain's identical twin brother got brought into the spotlight as well, the duo first appearing in a 1977 episode of Maude together. Besides Maude and Walter Findlay, Conrad's doctor, Arthur Harmon, was the most recurring character from this Norman Lear series. Conrad was a TV pro and found fault with how the newly famous Gary Coleman worked on set, saying, "I've been around this industry for years. You don't see me ordering around the crew for food." Directly following Different Strokes in '87, Bain was part of the short-lived George C. Scott sitcom Mr. President. That would about do it for the aging actor. His final television appearance was the finale of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where he reprised his Drummond alongside Gary Coleman's Arnold, house hunting at the bank's iconic mansion as they shop for new homes in L.A. Conrad Bain passed away from a stroke in 2013 at the age of 89. We won't forget his fatherly kindness and the smiles he brought. Gary Coleman as Arnold Jackson. Arnold Jackson was the adorable and lovable little bro that brought viewers back for more each week, partly with his iconic catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis?" He was one of the best TV characters of all time, hilarious and cute, yet intelligent and witty. Even his serious arcs were enjoyable. Coleman's first TV appearance was in 1974 with commercials for Harris Bank. He was incredibly endearing. Next, he was cast as Stymie in a television movie pilot rebooting The Little Rascals. Coleman's talent was noticed and he was offered the role in Different Strokes. At the height of the show, he earned $100,000 per episode, which definitely paid better than many kids' first jobs. As things turned out, Coleman was left with a quarter of the original amount of money he made on the show, and he later successfully sued his parents and former advisors for misappropriation of his finances and was awarded $2 million. Coleman was a huge fan of model trains, loving to build and maintain miniature railroads as a hobby for extra money. He had tracks in his homes in multiple states in the 1990s. One of his railroads is still preserved in Colorado Springs. Coleman ran for governor in the 2003 California recall election. He received 14,242 votes, which put him in 8th place out of 135 candidates. His small stature was due to a congenital kidney. As a result, he received dialysis for many years, even while filming Different Strokes. Tragically, Coleman passed away from those lifelong medical problems in 2010 at the age of 42. Charlotte Rae as Edna Garrett. Edna Garrett was the Drummonds' first no-nonsense housekeeper who everyone lovingly called Mrs. G. She began acting professionally in 1951, and her first notable role was a decade later with 11 episodes of Car 54, Where Are You? She appeared in all 24 episodes of the first season of Different Strokes. In one of them, she helped out at a private school, which gave Charlotte Rae the idea for the series' spin-off, The Facts of Life. NBC loved the pitch and approved the show. After years of appearing in supporting roles, The Facts of Life finally gave Rae the chance to be the star. She died back in 2018 at age 92. Todd Bridges as Willis Jackson. Willis Jackson was popular and rebellious while he had his eyes on the prize, which was a foxy lady to have by his side. In a case of life imitating art, Todd Bridges dated his Different Strokes girlfriend Janet Jackson and also admitted in his autobiography to having a couple of flings with Dana Plato. Bridges was born into an acting family, his older brother Jimmy Bridges still working today as an actor. Todd's first professional job was in 1975 with an episode of Barney Miller, and he followed Abe Vigoda to his spin-off show Fish, where Todd was a series regular for 35 episodes. Coleman may be the cutest child actor ever, but Todd was not far behind him. Fans may also remember Todd at his most cute and profound as the character Solomon from a very memorable episode of Little House on the Prairie. This ended up being one of the most unique episodes that tackled difficult issues and made Little House quite ahead of its time in that regard. In 2007, Bridges had a recurring role as Monk on Everybody Hates Chris. Bridges has also appeared on several celebrity game shows, even beating Vanilla Ice in a boxing match on Celebrity Boxing. Additionally, he was a contestant on Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling. Since Todd is a fighter through and through, he fought drugs too. His drug habit began when he was 15 years old, and it got to the point where he started dealing drugs to support his addiction. In 1989, he was arrested and charged with the murder of Kenneth "Tex" Clay, a Los Angeles area drug dealer. He was later acquitted of the charges. Thankfully, Bridges overcame his drug addiction in 1993, and today he's in his mid-50s and still acting. We most recently saw him in a few episodes of Sangre Negra, Black Blood in 2021, and he has several projects in the works that we can get excited for. Mary Jo Catlett as Pearl Gallagher. Pearl Gallagher was the longest-tenured housekeeper, appearing for 81 episodes as part of the Different Strokes cast. She started booking TV roles in the mid-70s, highlighted by 3 episodes of MASH as Nurse Walsh. However, perhaps her most famous role simply requires her voice, as she plays Mrs. Puff in SpongeBob SquarePants and loads of spin-off movies and specials. She was specifically sought out by creator Steven Hillenburg for the role, which she quickly accepted. Catlett claims to have basically retired in 2013, but along with her Mrs. Puff, she makes guest appearances every once in a while. Today, Mary Jo is 85 years old and continues to live prosperously under the sea. And surprise, she recently worked on a film called When the Moon Was Twice as Big.